Thank you for tuning in to G.SaygbeReads, formerly known as TTP Turn the Page. Now, before we get into this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hidden knowledge. Let's go through plot twists. Let's form criticisms. Let's pick up a book. Let's turn the page. One of my dynamic professors in undergrad, Dr. Tiffany Packer, would always let us know that if you don't own and know your story, then someone else will tell your story and write you out. In this episode, I want us to look at novels and books, but specifically authors who tell stories that are different from their own. It's something that's been happening since the Rock of Ages. Most often, the stories that we come across are written by our white counterparts, but they reflect the people. I'm not here to choose where I am on this debate, but I am here to shed some light on how that could possibly be problematic. The literary world is having a debate that is basically saying authors should be able to write and express what they know as well as who they are. Author Pamela Paul, a white Gen X woman, wrote in the New York Times an op-ed. She stated that in spite of her ethnic background, in spite of her lived experience, she is capable of writing impactful stories about any race and any creed. Hubris, right? I mean, listen, we are in a time where we as a nation, and when I say as a nation, America, we are very progressive. We are telling stories of everyone, the LGBT community, African American community, Latinx community. Every story is being told. Now, my question is, what happens when these stories are being told by people who don't live that experience? You see, the vast majority of African American characters, Asian American characters, Latinx, Hispanic characters have been written by people who do not look like them. And so when those stories are written or published, it does bring about the concern that it's a limited experience that's being expressed. It should have us as readers consider, what is an authentic voice? As a writer takes pen to paper, the words that they choose, the scenarios, the plots, the theme, is it coming from a lived place? Is it coming from a genuine experience? Is it something they saw in the news? Is it something they heard about? Or is this their lived truth? If I, an inspiring author, were to take pen to paper, should I have the free will and expression to write about another? And if I do write about another, do I have the right to write outside of my skin? What is an authentic voice? When writers write, is it okay for them to write about the other? Safe to say that we as readers and author Pamela Paul, we're promoting a limited lived experience. For so long, we have had raw, authentic voice through powerful authors like Toni Morrison, Alice Walker, Ralph Ellison. Black authors who wrote about the lived Black experience. Interesting thing, a lot of their works were banned. But today we have Pamela Paul, and no shade to her, writing an op-ed to the New York Times, letting people know that, hey, in spite of who I am, in spite of my limited lived experience, I'm able to tell your story. I think as long as we have been around, as long as books have been around, there's always been books for the people, by the people. And I believe that there will continue to be, we'll always have books that are for the people and by the people. I do want us to be mindful that it is hubris to think that you can tell stories outside of who you truly are. Thank you.